Om Sthapakaya cha dharmasya sarva dharmasvarupine avatara varishtaya Ramakrishnaya te namaha. Master to the devotees, why should not one be able to attain spirituality, living the life of a householder? But it is extremely difficult. Sages like Janaka entered the world after attaining knowledge, but still the world is a place of terror. Even a detached householder has to be careful. Once Janaka bent down his head at the sight of a Bhairavi. He shrank from seeing a woman. The Bhairavi said to him, Janaka, I see you. You have not yet attained knowledge. You still differentiate between man and woman. So, the Sri Ramakrishna is telling the main essence is, as Holy Mother says, Satyata and Samagrata. I want to realize God. Is there truthfulness in that? And Samagrata is your whole being aspiring for it. The mind, body, senses, all your heart, all this, your intellect, they are collectively aspiring for it. Sometimes heart says, I want it. Sometimes intellect is not accepting. Sometimes intellect is accepting, heart is not accepting. Reasons I feel it is needed, but I am afraid many times. So many things happen like that. Holy Mother says, when you do anything, see whether there is satyata. Sitting for meditation, is there satyata? You're sitting for studies, is there satyata? Are you able to give yourself totally to it? When I'm doing puja, I must not be able to perceive anything what is happening around. So much of observe, because there is samagrata, my whole being is going towards. Now, I am a watchman. I must have attention to all the places. Anything happening, I am a watchman. It's my duty. I must have attention to all types. Anybody coming anywhere, any theft going on, any people coming and going. All this, I must keep eye to eye. Is it true? Are you attentive to all things? Are you attentive to your own duties? Am I correctly doing? That kind. And have you given yourself entirely? Some reason, yesterday night I could not get sleep. I feel little lazy to know. There cannot be an excuse. Otherwise, your job you are not doing correctly. That is, your job is to be a watchman. You cannot take rest, you cannot do. Now, this satyata and samagrata, a householder doesn't matter. Wherever you are, you can aspire for God. A sannyasi or a householder, it is a station of life. It is not the style and content of life. I can be as a householder, be in the house, be attending to all duties of a householder. At the same time, long for God. In your longing is there truthfulness. That is going to lead you. Not the where you are staying, that will never lead. You may be living in a fine ascetic, as an ascetic in a forest, in a hermit, but you may not be aspiring for God. External things are there, everything is ready, but internally it is not there. So the whole thing, how you aspire for it, that aspiration counts. So here Sri Ramakrishna is telling, why not? But you must be very careful, extremely careful, because from which side, it's like a war field. Thakur uses the term terror. The world is terrible. World is like a terror. Means from any side, any danger can come any time and carry you away. Small griefs, some calamities at home, someone passed away on whom we were dependent, if somebody passed away whom we loved most. This may shake a person from his bottom, the whole thing may be. So, can you remain true to that ideal? Oh, I have to realize God. Doesn't matter. Till now, that person was with us. That is the grace of God. Can I take everything in a positive way and keep walking towards my goal? Because nothing that is happening can be removed from the happening. You cannot eliminate anything happening. You cannot avoid what is going to happen. So allow it to happen, but not affect your path to God. That which is which is inevitable has to be endured, and we have to go ahead with it. So this is the Sri Ramakrishna is telling, you must be careful to the extreme extent. That happening should not affect me, or if the happening, if I can avoid, I will have to avoid. Only two alternatives. Avoid that happening, or the second thing is, don't bother about it, it cannot be avoided. Transcend it and go. You go beyond it. See that your path is not affected by anything that happens. He gives the example of Janaka. Janaka is supposed to have realized God through great austerities and all that realization. Then how that after realization also small traces of ignorance will persist. So means the thing is, if a realized soul does anything good or bad, it doesn't matter, because he is not under the karmic load. Karma doesn't get accrued. Now, why should I not do bad? Why should I do good is because I am responsible for its consequences. In case of a realized soul, it doesn't have consequences. The work actions get dissolved because he is not keeping the awareness of our identity with bodily existence, and his identity that I am is a spiritual spirit. I am spirit, I am Chaitanya Swarupa. That awareness is making him free, giving him total freedom from the activities. Good and bad doesn't affect him, because the doer is not somebody else is doing. Just like machine. Machine is doing so many things, but it is not responsible for action because it is not aware of itself. It doesn't have an identity of itself. Similarly, a person who doesn't have ego, he doesn't have an identity of himself. So after realization, the ego drops off. There is no more identity with the body. I am doing, that sense won't be there. But it does. Like machine, it works. Now suppose you make a software in such a way, it can detect something. If someone comes, a robot is there, it is designed to receive the guest. It goes and opens the door, welcomes, makes him sit. Now all these things the machine is doing, the action and reaction to the what it observes. By no means it is responsible for any of its action. Neither he is punished if the result is good or bad. He is not responsible. Good also doesn't affect. Bad also doesn't affect. Its karma dissolves with the action itself. It is not going to occur. The same case is the realized soul. There is no, because why this machine is not punished for doing bad things or good things, is not praised or rewarded, just because it doesn't have an identity of itself. If it has an identity, the I comes with immediately. In case of realized soul, the I dissolves off. But if the I, after realization, is retained, I am a realized soul, then I is there, I am a realized soul. Can I behave like this? Question comes. That question, now I have to avoid certain things in my life as a human being, though I am realized, just because there is demand and I am keeping the understand I am a realized soul. A person who keeps the I am a realized soul, that I is there, the thing what he thinks I should not do like this is outcome of jnana. Yadyadachariti shrestha tattadevetaru janaha. How the shrestha behaves, the others will behave. They follow. Sayat pramana kurute lokastad anuvartate. All will follow what is. Now that aspect, here I am realized, so I should not do this. Suppose a man who is not realized, he does the same thing, oh I should not do it, it's a moral code. It is not an outcome of jnana, it is the limitation or the discipline he has superimposed upon himself. It is a necessity, it is not a fruit of jnana, it is to attain jnana. He has put himself into that restrictions, laws and regulations. He has yielded himself. He has subjected himself to certain laws to attain. That doesn't mean, realized soul also does, but it is out of jnana. So here Janaka is doing that, where from that ignorance came. When he sees a Bhairav, he shuts his eyes and looks down. Where from that? It may be supported by jnana, but ego is there. That it is something like screening the knowledge. It is screening his own knowledge. For an onlooker, it is looking as if that knowledge is not there because of the screening he himself has put upon himself, that I is created. Sometimes God keeps that I. Now you can see Vinayakananda working in the West. Very harsh days, both physical, mental and social conditions, entirely different from the but he has to swim against the current. Now, how that realized soul, after the ultimate realization of Nirvikalpa, how is he behaving, you see? There you see, the ego is kept by the divine. He has to fight, he has to work. Because the I is there, he has to do all that. I doesn't belong to him, he is a realized soul, and he has not superimposed himself with that I am a realized soul. No. There it is, kept by God Himself. So here we see a lot of differences with respect to jnana and ajnana. If you move here with reference to the householder is telling, Janaka was a householder, a huge kingdom. He is owning, not small family. Every citizen, praja, is his own child. He has to take whole responsibility of every person in the kingdom. But how much of carefulness it must be. From somewhere that ignorance comes. In Janaka it may be divine will or his own superimposition of understanding, it may be. But most of us, we know, and sometimes we yield to some demands without our knowledge. Then we will realize, oh, I should not have done this. Here the carefulness. If you move about in a room filled with soot, you will soil your body, however slightly, no matter how clever you may be. Where the coal are sold, charcoals are sold, everywhere there will be black soot. If you just touch the wall and go, already on your cloth it is there, in your fingers it is there. Just move about. Breathe just powerfully, you will see that your nostrils are already burning. Your clothes, put cloth for drying in a place where the excessive smoke and things are there, nearby factory. You can see that black thread line sitting on the cloth. So it's slowly, somehow or the other, you will not know. You see, we are in a forest-like area. There is no vehicles are moving about around. Mild breeze sometimes. Every day you have to sweep and clean. There is no, in cities and all, vehicles are pouring out their poisonous gases, and then you can see the dust rising every moment. Here no reason, no strong wind. It is in the forest area that dust is being carried. But towards the end of the day, when you sweep, you get so much of dust. Where from this dust came? The dust gets collected. So, however careful you are, however secluded you are, it reaches, the dirt reaches, it is nature. You will soil your body, however slightly, no matter how clever you may be. I have seen householder devotees filled with spiritual emotion while performing their daily worship, wearing their silk clothes. They maintain that attitude even until they take their refreshments after the worship. But afterwards, they become their old selves again. They display their rajasic and tamasic natures. It is something like a compensating factor. I am doing something wrong. I compensate it to my own conscience. I do something opposite to that to make myself console and make others console. I am doing right. I am doing something good. Small mistakes, Now, just sleeping more than what is required. To avoid that, suppose a person is sleeping up to 5:30, 6 o'clock, when he is expected to get up at 4:30, then that day he will be more actively moving about to compensate that people have seen him sleeping. Now he will be doing more activities and work with more dedication to see that particular part is covered by his actions. The whole day, the humility he shows, all that is just to cover up. It's called compensating. Similarly, Sri Ramakrishna says, when you sit on a sofa, the springs will be there. It will be pressing the whole thing below. The moment we get up, it will come back. While doing puja, worship and all in the morning, sattva is projected forward and he does the puja, this, that and all. The moment it is over, he is going for tiffin, already rajas and tamas have come back. He is same person. Now when he was doing worship in the morning, he was not even looking here, there. Bringing water, this, that, puja, articles, arranging, doing worship. Afterwards when you see, same person is, same way of behavior, same part of enjoyment, how the nature is overpowering and taking. His nature is coming out. Can you control this nature? First part of spiritual life is sanyama, self-control. So here, when rajas is coming, he must immediately be act. No desires for me. What do I want in this life? What do I want from this world? The rajas get subsided. Now I feel like taking little rest. From morning I have been doing puja, this, that and all. I want to take a little rest, go and rest. Tamas is coming. Ask that question. Have you come to this world to sleep and spend the life? Life is going away. Wake up. Immediately it wakes up. No, I will not sleep. So the nature slowly covers. Sri Ramakrishna says the scum on the water, when you throw a stone, all that move away and clear water is seen. In no time, again it spreads back and covers it off. Like nature, it comes again and again, you have to push it back. So that you are remaining in the tranquil state as you are. So, to householders, be vigilant that your old samskaras do not overpower you any moment. Because here is giving the puja, this one, you are able to do that. Till puja was over, you are yourself. Now your nature is overpowering. Try to be, not that you are incapable, you are doing it when you are in puja state. Continue it, the same thing. Sattva begets bhakti, Sri Ramakrishna is telling. Bhakti is love of God. Love of God is prema. What is the difference between bhakti and prema? In prema, I want to become one with God. I want to dissolve the duality. In bhakti, I retain the duality, I and you relationship, to see that I please God in every respect, through my life, through my activities, through my relationship with this world, through every act of mine, through every thought of mine, through every action of mine, I please God and I worship, I serve Him in various ways to enjoy this company of God in various aspects. I want to experience Him. I keep the bhakti a different, I and you are different. And in prema, I want to become one with God, like a river running towards the ocean to become one with that ocean. So prema and bhakti. The pure knowledge, holding on to the knowledge if you walk. Everywhere knowledge. If I see a person, I use the knowledge. God is all pervading. He is there in the, God is Antaryamin, the indweller. In that person, God is there. Now, this is jnana oriented. Then I will go towards prema, bhakti oriented. My all feelings, things, I start preserving. In bhakti, duality is maintained, the duality is dissolved. So, the attitude, the sadhana, the way in which I look the world, everything is different. When I try to dissolve the differences between me and world, between me and God, between me and my actions and all that, I am moving towards jnana, I am moving towards oneness, I am moving to the prema where I dissolve. And here in bhakti, I preserve my duality. In whatever way I can preserve my duality. I don't go to the Advaitic concepts. I come to the again and Dvaitic. Oh, I will do like this for you. I will do like that for you. Oh, I am going to create a big garden for growing the puja, for worship, the flowers. I will have a small farm in which I will grow paddy, and with that I will give the main offering for God. Everywhere, in the action, in thought, in feelings, I maintain the duality. Any one relationship, dasya, bhakta, then sakhya, as a friend, I maintain that and I try to fulfill in various my responsibilities and duties. Suppose I am practicing sakhya, God is my friend. In what way I can please Him as a friend? How a friend will behave with another friend? I look upon him. I look upon him as my mother. Then all the duties, responsibilities, and all the things as a son, what I have to do, I will start doing. This develops bhakti. Now, for this bhakti, I cannot have personal desires. For prema also, I can never have any personal desires. So, rajas is eliminated. I cannot have alasya. I am sakhya. I am dasya. I have no rest. I cannot, sometime with great difficulty, like a mother who has a newborn baby, she sleeps very little. She is fully conscious about the child. Suppose I am asleep, if the child is something happens, it may feel breathless. So many doubts start coming when the child is still young. A blanket may fall on its own face and it is not able to breathe. It is not able to remove also. What will happen to my child? So many ways it will be thinking. Like that, I cannot take rest. I cannot lie down. I cannot show my laziness. This tamas and rajas are eliminated in both cases. Sattva alone awakens that pure love with which he finds oneness, pure bhakti with which he serves and loves. So, bhakti, sattva brings about bhakti. Sattva begets bhakti. Even bhakti has three aspects: sattva, rajas, and tamas. Sattva of bhakti is pure sattva. Sattva of bhakti is pure sattva. Pure sattva means there is no mixture of rajas and tamas. Anger, this, that, and all. This is excessive tamas. Greed, excessive greed. Normal desires will be there. To convert it into greed itself is something. Excessive greed means, you can imagine, greed itself becomes rajasic, but excessive greed, anger is rajasic, excessive anger is tamasic. Devotee, when a devotee acquires it, he does not direct his mind to anything but God. When sattvic bhakti awakens, the whole attention, like a mother, that child who is born, whole attention is given to that child. Months after months, the little more, a month passed, it doesn't decrease, it goes on increasing. Attachments, concerns, all this go on increasing with the child. The responsibility also. It is just like that, the bhakti. It doesn't seek anything else. Mind does not direct his mind to anything but God. He pays only as much attention to his body as absolutely necessary for its protection. The body has to be protected. The minimum things, a cloth to wear, a little shade to protect, a little food to eat, any food will do. If all others are eating, he is ready to eat anything. So with this minimum, this is the sign of the Shuddha Bhakti, Sattvic Bhakti. Like a child, he is not under the control of any gunas. An important thing. Guna, Sattva, Raja, Tama, it is like a fire. It can do and undo anything. We don't know what are the forms it takes. Suppose I am angry. I don't know what form it is going to manifest. I may throw some vessels. I may shout. I may beat myself. It can take any form. I don't know how the anger is going to work out. But the bhakta, when he has attained bhakti, is beyond the three gunas. That is why Paramahamsas allow small children to come near them in order to assume their nature. The Paramahamsas allow small children to come near them. You can see the more purity, more awareness, more their devotion to God, they become calm. And they like children because that's innocent and purity. I saw a few people in a nearby place, Karkala. One girl used to be there who is slightly grown up, is in school, higher school days. She always used to like small children. Wherever she goes, children will join her, they will come running. She will take one or two children in her arms and move about. In Hoshangabad also I saw, when I was in the banks of Narmada. One college-going girl, she is not worried or to be, she doesn't, her nature is such that she doesn't seek the company of elders. 30, 40 children used to be always with her. The moment the children will be waiting as if for her to come. They live with children. depicts what nature you belongs to. Some want to be polished, some want to be sophisticated, some want to maintain their dignity, wealth, glory, and each one has. But some people have that innocence and purity and divine awarenesses which make them to move with small children who are innocent and pure. With whom we move influences us in one way, and whatever is our nature, we select our friends. That's why that famous, this one goes, what is that? Tell me who your friends are, I will tell what you are. So your nature selects the friends. These are my friends. Oh, I know what you are. So they are influenced by the friends, the circle, and one thing, they acquire that nature that attracts them. They can live with them. Suppose I am of a particular nature, I naturally mix with friends who belong to that nature. So my status, my feelings, I maintain through the friend circle. Here, Sri Ramakrishna is telling, these Paramahamsas, the enlightened soul, the one who has acquired the true love of God, they start living in the company of children. Like a child. Paramam says, like a child, he is not under the control of the three gunas. That is why the Paramamsa allow small children to come near them in order to assume their nature. Paramahamsas may not lay things up, but this rule does not apply to the householders. They must provide for their families. Paramahamsas may not lay things up. The Paramahamsa, for tomorrow I will keep some food. No, they cannot keep. For when the family is there, he needs to accumulate money and keep for tomorrow. A Paramahamsa cannot and doesn't. He cannot keep. Just like on a spear, water cannot accumulate. Like that, he cannot keep things. It is not possible. So, like that, the Paramahamsas cannot keep up anything for tomorrow. Go on accumulating things, one day or the other. It will be. Now everything is going on. People are taking care. When they are not there, what will I do? That question doesn't come. But this rule does not apply to householders. They have to provide, they have to keep for the sake of the family and maintain. See, what you possess is not a problem. Do you have that awareness of possessing it? It may be with you. You may disown and keep it. You may keep it as belonging to God. Suppose I have a garden, I have a house. I don't have that abhimana that it belongs to me. It belongs to God. It will be tested. Somebody wants to come and sleep at night when he doesn't have any shelter. He's going from place to place. He sees these people may give me a shelter. So he's aspiring for, I want a shelter. Can you give it? So, for me I may not need, but when the people come, when my own people come, I must be able to provide them whatever is their necessity. He has to keep, not for himself, for others. It is just like a bank manager keeping lot of money and disowning it. In the treasury, the whole funds that are moving about is there in the treasury. He is the manager, but he cannot utilize it. It is exclusively meant for the customers to deposit and withdraw that money. But he maintains it, he protects, he uses, he gives, he distributes, he collects, he keeps it there. Everything is doing, taking care, he sees 4 times whether he has locked properly or not. But he is not attached to it. He can never claim it belongs to me. The same thing with the people who have got this devotion, love of God. They keep, the householders keeps as belonging to God and himself being a trustee and utilize in the way that God wants him to utilize. Tantric devotee, is a Paramahamsa aware of virtue and vice? A good question. Master, Keshav Sen also asked that question. I said to him, if I explain that to you, then you won't be able to keep your society together. In that case, we had better stop here, said Keshav. The question is Paramahamsa aware of virtue and vice? Keshav also asked the same question. A Paramahamsa, virtue and Papa Punya, he is aware of the Papa Punya. If I tell you this, you won't be able to keep up he has built up an organization, institution. You won't be able to manage this institution, it will go away. Because the secret of the things are such that he has to, he cannot apply it in his life. He cannot maintain. It comes to the awareness of the truth. Do you know the significance of virtue and vice? A Paramahamsa sees that it is God who gives us evil tendencies as well as good tendencies. Have not you noticed that there are both sweet and bitter fruits? Some trees give sweet fruit and some bitter or sour. God has made the mango tree which yields sweet fruit and also hog plum which yields sour fruit. Do you know the difference between virtue and vice? He says, if I explain to you the Paramahamsa how it will be, he will be seeing virtue and vice. Does he have the awareness of virtue and vice, right and wrong, good and bad? Then this is an important question. But he says, if I answer this, you won't be able to keep up that organization. Because God is the doer, he sees. The bad man making bad things, it is God finally. God is one God like a dream. One mind has become the whole world. One God has become all this what you are seeing. Because you are identified with this body, you are seeing this as world. But it is God. When you wake up from this dream of the waking state, you will see that everything is God. He has realized and sees everything is a play of God. Just like in dream what you experience. In dream you experience that there is a world, vast world. When you wake up you see that was what all I saw as world was only a mind. One mind had become that world. Like that one God has become. It is an experience of a Paramahamsa. He is called Paramahamsa because he experiences that. When he experiences that one, then what would be the state, you see? There is no difference between good and bad. This is what we call level of consciousness. At various level of consciousness, various awarenesses are formed and various awarenesses dissolve in various levels of consciousness. Now, just look at the consciousness where we are. Now, usually, suppose I have excessive greed or suppose I am angry. Immediately my consciousness are for lowest human existence to the Mooladhara. Getting angry is immediately. I am lethargy, sleep. I am lazy. It has reached the. I am seeking enjoyment. Immediately it has come to the Swadhisthana. Any kind of enjoyment. Just I am going to look into a garden. I see the flowers and fruits there. I feel happy. I am enjoying that scene. I am at a Swadhisthana. So how they, and this, if I divinize, it takes a different turn. If I see, oh, what a beautiful creation. Who has created this? There was one red velvet-like insect moving about. Somebody saw, look at this beautiful worm. It was green grass on which it is moving. It's exactly like velvet, red velvet. And a few started coming and saying, what a beautiful thing. One of them said, what a beautiful creation is this. Varieties of things. How this nature has created, you see. There is a shift from the Swadhisthana immediately to the heart. The feeling of the divine has come. He is using that small worm, beautiful worm. His consciousness has raised to the heart level. Heart level. The same. The others are also enjoying. But because divine is absent, it is at Swadhisthana, lower levels. Because divine is produced in the heart. Suppose it raises to the Ajna, all differences dissolve. There is good and bad. First thing, in Vishuddha itself, Akasha Tattva, I am in nature. Here, Ajna, I am outside the nature, within the Prakriti. I am within the Prakriti. I have just entered the Prakriti. Immediately I say I am within the Prakriti. But I am absolute equanimity. There in the Ajna level, the difference between good and bad, right and wrong dissolves. There is no good and bad at the heart level, throat level, Vishuddha. So it moves about. In Ajna, there is a state of Achintya Bheda Bheda. There is no Bheda, there is Bheda. Just like I am realized soul and I am aware that I am realized soul. I am Ananda Swarupa. There are no two, duality is not there. I am experiencing my own bliss, Ananda Swarupa. And when this awareness also dissolves, that I am Ananda Swarupa, it reaches the Sahasrara. In Ajna, there is difference without difference. I am experiencing myself. I am in the Nirvikalpa state of experiencing my Nirvikalpa state. Oh, I am a realized soul. I am Ananda Swarupa. That is self-made difference within where there is no difference. There is, and how that differentiates. The moment you come to the little lower, you are in the Prakriti, but when you come, there is pure love. You don't differentiate between person and person. Then you come to the moment you come into the lower three chakras, Manipura, there is clinging to life, bodily, hunger. Still lower is enjoyment. Still lower is the yielding to the drives of nature. So when in a particular state of our consciousness, awareness, we see all differences as dissolved. The Paramahamsa is a state where virtue and vice have no differences. It has fallen off. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.